Let's play some advertiser chain jump. Alright, here's how it works. You try to land every single video on the inappropriate for advertisers mark, and if you hit any other mark, you lose. So let's do it. You're sick. You're sicker than fucking sick. You're a sick fuck. The only thing sicker than you is a fuck. Okay? Done. Now, what am I doing here? What am I doing here? Found 7,000. Actually, I know what I'm doing. I'm doing the thing that I never thought of before for some reason.
It is not enough to
Read the precepts.
How
of a
strongly
book.
I didst believe 'twas something.
Read
But
a
I see it no more.
book. What's that guy doing standing there? Did he just shuffle his ass all the way across the map? No. He's just standing for some reason. I don't know why. Go on now. No, instead I'm going in here. You may ask, why would you do that? And I may answer, because somebody tried to steal some gems off of some chandelier here, and I just wonder if maybe I can do so. I've never tried it before. I've never tried it before. Oh, I probably should look at the descriptions of such or something. Has 4 candles on it and it has some gems. But you know what? I think he said he sold it or something? Doesn't say who he sold it to. Maybe I'm just thinking wrong. A pedestal light. Oh, it's a pedestal. This is a pedestal light, is it? It's just that I'm missing some loot. Oh, this is exciting playing. Keep imagining I'm hearing sounds coming from somewhere outside, but I'm supposed to be alone and undisturbed up in here. Unless, of course, the King's Ransom Light shows stuff from another mission, which would be a crazy, long thing. Okay, once I have something... Oh, yeah, get in the apartment. That's right. Should probably stop teasing everybody's despicable portions and cut the ashamedness and go forth to your great big toe and say, hey, would you like a hat? And it goes, and then your toes will wear hats, toe hats. I'm sure some crazy fashion person has done that, but if not, some crazy fashion person should. This is how it normally is in the square. just being, man. Because look, hippies, or people who are called hippies, get a lot of insults thrown at them, but you know what? I'd rather someone be nice and a hippie than be nasty and not be, I guess, you know? Oh, what? Huh? I haven't even gone in here? That's crazy talking. Of course I've gone in here. M. Dupuy. Mallory Dupuy. Not a battery. Not imported by Duracell. There'll be no shipping of Mallory unless, of course, she's into that sort of thing. Being stuffed in a human-sized crate and shipped across the country. So yeah, people shouldn't do things unless they should. It's a ledger 150 is some kind of profit, probably not a good one, but Also, I guess I'm still teasing despicable portions here, so the shame, let it continue. But sales down a lot this winter, and I can't figure out why. My bread and pastries are as good as ever, and I've even lowered my prices a bit, but it's not helped yet. Meanwhile, Crater is raising flour prices next month, and so I will have to either find a new supplier or figure out a way to boost sales, or else what little profits I'm making now will dry up. I may have to give up and sell the place in a few months if things don't improve. If this continues, I won't have enough saved to go visit Mum in the spring. Perhaps I should sell the place and move back in with her. She loves my currant buns even if no one else does. Don't do it, mate. Don't move back in with your mum, you know? You're in Victoria, and, you've just come off of, like, a really weirdly awkward relationship-looking thing, and you're super looking to go back and live with your mom so you can get money together and afford another place. Ha! It won't happen. Instead, you'll just sit your ass down until you're, like, super unyoga'd. You want to be unyoga'd? So, you bucko. Right, well. Yes. the apartment, guys. This is the Harlequin Inn. Or Harlequin. Attractive sounds are attractive. Did I go in here already? See, now I can't even remember. I keep telling y'all, going to the place. But I guess I'm just not. Sigh. So, you can kind of climb around here if you want and go on ledge place. Speaking of ledge place, I guess I should go somewhere else uninteresting after I finish this uninteresting place. Does that sound good to everyone? Good. I'm glad. I truly am. The work has finally begun on replacing the old backup electric system with some better equipment. A new generator was delivered, along with its regulator. All we need is the battery and the zone capacitor, and we should be good to go. Still waiting for that battery. The zone capacitor arrived yesterday. We got it unpacked and found out it needs some kind of special newfangled wiring. Sarge evidently forgot about that. It should be here in a few days. Neither the wiring nor the battery have bothered to make an appearance. The guys are making bets as to which one will arrive first. I'm betting on the battery. We ordered it a month ago. The wiring arrived. I'm out 5 gold. Oh, the builder's ever-loving mercy. The battery has finally shown up. The delivery company had sent it to the guardhouse in Old Quarter. Old Quarter! They couldn't afford this system. Eventually, one of the numbskulls over there noticed this huge, giant, monstrously oversized metal object in their station house and thought it was an oil container. Wasn't until they couldn't find the fill nozzle that they realized what it was. The thing didn't even belong there. Those guys are taft in the head. The generator is installed and working well. The regulator is regulating, and amazingly enough, the zone capacitor is almost capturing the extra electrics and storing it in the battery. The issue is the wiring. There's some kind of cross-interference with it, which is causing the zone capacitor to randomly zap objects around it, including the battery. We have to get this fixed before it does any real damage. Still working on the wiring. I don't care what Sarge says. It's a bloody cold out there, and I'm going to have some kind of heat. I think I understand the problem. I'm going to have to relocate at least one of those wires. Why couldn't this stuff shown up before snow? Ugh. Oh, that is a disgusting acoustics. Sigh. Much like a guitar with muddy fingerprints on it, those acoustics are disgusting.
What's that I see?
What are you doing? Pissant. That's right. You're a pissant. What do you think of that, huh? Well, you won't be thinking much as I just said, your puzzler is sore. Or whatever. I'm pretty sure it wasn't that I just said. But whatever. I'll even close it up so I totally forget that I came up here. It's astounding. Oh, yeah. Oh, what was that plot progression place I was going to go to? I don't remember. Guess I'll just go back to the start to contemplate it. I just can't figure it out. Just don't know. And don't go off this side or you'll never get back. Just saying. Oh. Oh. Great music here, by the way. Is this music random or something? Like, guess not. I don't know. Anyways, yes, you've got a slow fall potion. Blurp. And I've got a health potion, so really there's no reason to get up there for any practical, profitable purpose. But Oh, where to now? Ooh, I made him fall with a wave of my stubby little finger. Oh yeah, there's this cellar down here that you could put... Actually, I need to put dudes down here because there's lantern guys what come around. I'm sure that sign had nothing interesting on it. So sarcastic. I pretty much just become what I constantly claim to not like here. Let's see. The Eternal Flame. Lewis Riley. Put cat burglar so you can put it out. Let's stop being a cow and be a person. Sound good. Excellent. So this is a good place to stick guys where they're out of the way of lamps and stuff. But there's an elevator, but it's got a weird button. I don't know, man. Let's leave, baby. See what I mean? I can only hope that I didn't leave nobody else. Nobody else. What the hell? Okay. Seriously now. Because I'm playing on expert, I don't have to play on expert. There's no extra areas or anything on expert. It's just more dudes and higher loot and that sort of thing. But I'm playing on it anyway, because burp. Oh my god. Okay. It's right in here. No problem. No problem. I can show the sneakity sneakity. It's right in here. No problem. No sweat. Aw ye. Alright, crime scene. Do not enter. Because it's murder. Yeah. Great ambience too. It crackles in the left ear a bit. Make you think there's something crackling there. Yeah, that's what a crackle does. Hello, I'm Wrong Say Homestar. How's it going? Yeah, I mean, it's not blind, so it's not blind, but still, nevertheless, wait, hang on. Oh yeah, I guess I got a rope up. Yeah, never mind whatever's down there, the she-beast. Pretty sure she's just hungry and needs a Kit Kat or whatever the heck those commercials go like. See, advertisers love me because I remember exactly what they say in advertisements. That kind of looks familiar, either from like the old movie Metropolis or that new movie that's exactly a ripoff of Short Circuit, but nobody mentioned such. Yeah. Anyways, it's spooky. Here's a diary. I missed this the first time through. I was like, oh, I'm going to hit the switch. Oh, I'm going to go over here. and it has important stuff in it, and I would have really, really had a hard time if I hadn't have gone back and read it. Oh, boy. So here's some computer code. I see you. Life in stereo. Hello, world. Arg, what failure? So yeah, it's pretty creepy. I guess I'm still gonna not read that diary because, for absolutely real, let's read these first. Yeah, apparently. False. This is so... Probably should have read these after the diary, but meh. Yeah, apparently it's computer code, and apparently it's not anything to do with servants. It's just like a crazy guy. Are you ready for more space audio decks? Good. At last, a stroke of luck. Brody sent for me today. He's recovered the body of a young woman that has remained unidentified for several days now, and by his description will likely remain that way. The location she was found, as well as her malnourished and generally unkempt appearance, indicates that she was likely homeless. I will visit Brody tomorrow to find out if this girl will suit my requirements. Of course, it's difficult to tell at this point. Nothing like this has ever been done before. The girl is just as Brody said. She is dirty, half-starved, and her hair is a matted nest. But as I looked upon her, it is clear that she was once quite attractive. If I believed in fate, I'd say she was a cruel mistress. Brody required a small fee, of course. It pains me to have to stoop to the level of dealing with such a crooked mortician, but where could I obtain a willing volunteer? I do not delight in her death, but I am thankful for it. Desecration of the dead is a heretical offense, but the path of the true scientist is not an easy one. Our desire to push the boundaries of society for the benefit of the future is a double-edged sword, both a blessing and a curse. It's a shame the girl wasn't delivered to Brody's in a more timely manner. The rot has already begun to set in, and much of her flesh is unusable. I've got her on ice to slow the decay until I can hook her up to the fluid exchange terminal, but I keep finding myself in a habit of procrastination. While I am truly gripped with excitement for the task at hand, I cannot help but feel a sense of dread deep down. A persistent nagging voice that insists I'm treading where no man has any right. My flirtation with the teachings of the Hammerites in early life and their prominent role in society at large is surely to blame. I have to remind myself that I set all that aside. I have exchanged primitive superstition for rationality. The delusion of our morality is a mere stumbling block, a crooked root in the path of the ever-striding giant of progress. I shall remove it from my own path this very night. Work begins tomorrow. It's been a productive day. Fluid exchange has begun without a hitch, and I've even managed to remove the majority of necrotic tissue. I'm pleased to report that my scalpel hovered for only a brief moment of hesitation this morning. My thoughts are now unclouded. It's unfortunate that much of the decay was present on her face. I'm afraid its removal has robbed her of her former beauty, and she is now quite ghastly to look upon. I suppose I can fashion some sort of mask for her, but I'm not concerned for the moment. Function before aesthetics, at least for now. If I'm to eventually sell my creations, they must appeal to the eye as well. I realize it's been weeks since my last entry, but progress has really taken off, and in my excitement I've scarcely found time to eat, much less write. Delilah, as I've come to call her, opened her eyes for the first time today. The pupils are dilated, and she has no mind to perceive anything with as of yet, but the difference is still astounding. I managed to cover the rent for this month, but my stock of leftover mechanist materials is beginning to wane. I'm going to need to find a way to secure more funding before too long. I can't exactly ask the hammers or mechanists for help with corpse reanimation. Perhaps I can sell some of my work. Maybe Brody can make some inquiries into the black market for me. It seems a cruel joke that I've developed a formula for synthetic emeralds, but lack the machinery to put it to use. All my funding troubles would be a thing of the past. I really need to get better at keeping this thing up to date. I'd hate to rely on memory alone for the inevitable book. Even after many precious hours with the scalpel, I've failed to extract the last trace amounts of necrotic tissue. I have, however, isolated it completely to her legs. Delilah is just a prototype, and since a house servant should not have such a hideous smell, I have opted to remove her legs completely and will replace them with much stronger and more sanitary metallic ones. Tomorrow, the real work begins. Delilah needs a mind. Through all of this, I can't help but recall my youthful fascination with that old myth of the golem. It was my dream to one day build one, and though Delilah is not made from clay, she is not altogether unlike one. I simply couldn't resist stuffing the old scrap of paper I ripped from that forbidden tome into Delilah's mouth. Purely symbolic, of course. It is science, not magical incantations, that will bring Delilah back from the dead. I have done it. Delilah lives.
Well, not quite. She can only do what I've programmed her to do, but that's the idea anyway. She cannot speak as of yet. Her vocal cords were almost completely destroyed by necrosis. I will begin work on a synthetic voice soon. The ragged, wet gasping noises she keeps making simply won't do. I've also had to replace much of her hands with steel and cable. I'm going to need to recalibrate her grip parameters as soon as possible, as evidenced by the handshake experiment. Note to self, see doctor about fractured metacarpals. Last night I had the strangest dream. It seemed to me that I suddenly woke to a soft mewling sound. To my horror, there was Delilah at the foot of my bed. She looked different. Eyes that were usually vacant and glazed over were now awake and alert with a terrible pleading. Her mouth opened, and shrieks of wet nonsense spewed forth in hideous glossolalia. The inside of my head felt like a smashed piano, and I passed into sheer white panic. Next thing I knew, my room was empty. I quickly confirmed that she was indeed still in the basement, gazing at me dumbly as she continued the waitress program on loop. Only a dream, then. Still, now that I've given life to her legs with several locomotion routines, I'm going to need to make sure she stays in the basement. As a precaution, I've now rigged the lift buttons to an additional circuit and installed a control lever so I can disable access to the lift entirely. I can't risk any guests seeing her. One look and they'd probably faint. It was a dream. I will be programming her security routine today. I'll need to find something to test it on. Perhaps one of Miss Tibbs' many cats? Also, Brody's found me a buyer. Apparently, a nobleman from Aldale named Lord Highwater is interested in my formula and is willing to pay much higher than I'd ever expected to receive for it. His man is bringing the payment tomorrow night. I'd rather not part with any of my work, but I do need more funds to perfect Delilah. Emeralds are nothing compared to what I'm about to create. My God, what have I done? I went down this morning to collect last night's reels, but she attacked me. She cut my arm wide open with a single flick of her finger. She then immediately began to try and bandage me up. As soon as my arm was wrapped, she tried to attack me again, but I managed to short-circuit her with a glass of water and made my escape. Now, whenever I peer down the elevator shaft, she's there, staring up at me and issuing those disgusting wet gags. Just waiting for me to come down so she can mangle me, like as not. For a minute I thought I could see a glimmer of malice in her eyes, but that's not possible. It was a dream. What did I do wrong? It seems like I must have accidentally activated several of her routines before I left last night, and now she's stuck in a very unfortunate combination. At least I know the security routine works. Technically. The reels confirm my suspicions. She is indeed stuck in at least 3 routines: nurse, waitress, and guard. I also couldn't help but notice a few really strange additions to the reels that are not part of the programming. It's almost as if... But no, that's impossible. I cannot go there. I need to find a way to deactivate her guard routine at the very least before I can safely continue my work. Perhaps if I could lure her into some sort of sprinkler system, it would give me ample time to make the adjustments. I'd better get this thing nipped in the bud before Highwater's man arrives tonight. I think I've got a copy of the formula up here, but if not, I'll need to write another, and my notes are in the basement safe. 2 thes, by the way. Incredibly bad bug, fixing 1.1, thanks. In the basement safe, though, eh? Did I look at this already? Anyways, this place, awesome. You know, when you got a mission that's kind of going around a city or a mansion or something relatively normal, it's nice to always have a centerpiece kind of like this that's an objective and you go into it late and it's just different from everything else and really eerie or effective or whatever, memorable. It's good to do that, says I. That was my spooky gulp sound. Well, here we go. nothing under the elevator, so I'm not even gonna check. Yeah, that little crackle in the left ear super makes it sound like someone's scratching to your left all the time, and effective. Effective. So, there's something over there. Not going to stick around for it if I can help it. And there's, you know, zombie parts in a hole, as you need in any cellar. And there's a golden child thing, cherub, which is a lot less inflammatory looking than whatever's out there, let me tell you. Oh, she's coming here, isn't she? I forgot she came this way. I thought she didn't. Oh, that's not good. Anyway, yeah. Holy hell. Anyway, I know all of y'all have or are playing this mission already, most probably, but you should play it yourself just to... Yeah. That is messed up. Enjoy the, full musical ambiance and all the stuff. And read at your own pace, instead of having to pause a video and all this silly nonsense. So, here's a safe. That was a joke at myself, and if you want, you can go like this. Actually, not going to do that just yet. Just save that for later. My God. Oh. Poor thing. Wow. Yeah, it's a hell of a thing. Anyways, I don't have too much insane to say here, because it's kind of eerie. Don't think she comes back here, but I could be wrong. I'm pretty sure she turned. Uh-oh. No! Oh, my bad. It was. Uh-oh. It was this path she doesn't come back on, I guess, for some reason. Okay. Yeah, I swear she... Weird. Anyways, gotta be quick. She turns... What? Oh, shoot. No, yeah, that's right. The main lighting is from the candle, so... Okay. I not quite sure. Maybe she's in a nurse routine and she was trying to revive him with peptic salve and adrenaline or whatnot. But then again, things always tend to go over my head. So yes. Anyways, that was some key or another. Miller's key. Now we must go. Uh-oh. Oh yeah. Good. I was thinking maybe she would randomly go here or not, but that coughing sound she makes too. I don't know if there's even anything back here. Well, I mean, yes, there's this. Every mad inventor needs a mad furnace to be mad with. Got it? There's nothing back here. Dang. Anyway, that is horrific and so forth. is she? She's gotta be in there. Go away, go away. Wow. Okay, let's do this quick. Okay, so if you go up and go like this, and this thing comes and kills you. But, you know, as we've seen, if you go like that, you kill them in advance. And then you go like this, and then there's your stuff. There's your research notes. Yeah?
Useful to Fairbanks. Now to go get paid. I don't want to stay down here another minute.
No, indeed. I think he's not supposed to do that. I'll just leave him to it. Sound good? Okay, let's get the crap out of here. Uh-oh. I done did made some noise. If I was a good citizen, I would go up there and shut off the thing again, but... Okay, so... Meet Fairbanks once I have something. Right, so now here's how you do it. Oh, hang on now, which... I think it's this building. Here's how you do it properly, not like that crazy-ass way that I did it when I first played. Oh. Shake your feminine wiggle sack. Alright, you can look for me.
Come on up, then.
Now, we go up here. And it even opens up so it doesn't hit you in the face. Fantastic. And I'm missing a ton of... I always miss loot in these missions. Well, I miss loot in every missions, but, you know, in these particularly, I think I look everywhere, but I guess I don't. Oh, here we go.
Mr. Garrett, is that you?
I'm here. I think this could be useful to you.
Ah, yes, indeed. Well done, Mr. Garrett. This should prevent anyone else from recreating the formula for synthesizing emeralds. Here's your payment.
My contact said you would have additional work. Get to the point.
A man who cuts to the chase. I love it. Well, you may have heard of my family's feud with the Highwaters. I need you to go to their estate.
Your feud is well known throughout the city, but I don't like getting mixed up in such business. You'll have to make it worth my while.
As you know, Alan Highwater purchased the formula from Miller before his murder. I fear his intentions with the formula will cause problems. He went to the Hammerites, our family's only mutual allies, and proposed a deal whereby they would use the formula and their production capabilities to mass-produce emeralds. In return for providing materials and labor, they would keep some emeralds for their coffers.
That doesn't sound like an enterprise the Hammers would have much interest in.
Indeed, which leads me to our problem. Highwater has now turned tail and struck a deal with those upstart mechanists. They appear to be all too interested.
Our problem?
That's not all, Mr. Garrett. I've heard from a reliable source that the ability to create large emeralds is of great interest to the mechanist leader, Karras. Apparently, large, flawless emeralds will provide his security robots with much greater abilities, as they are used for the lenses through which the mechanist contraptions sense their surroundings.
Ah. Well, that's clearly something I don't want to see in my line of business.
I thought you'd see it that way.
So, what you need me to do? And how much does it pay?
Lord and Lady Highwater leave tomorrow morning for a winter holiday. The guards tend to relax when their master isn't around. Break into the Highwater estate tomorrow night, find and steal the formula, and get it back to me. Your payment will be 5,000 upon handing over the formula. You can keep anything you manage to steal from the estate as a bonus, with one exception. If you find a large, beautiful sword with a black leather-wrapped handle, that's mine. It was stolen from my grandfather by the Highwaters, and I wanted it back for a long, long time. I'll give you an extra 1,000 if you return it.
Lord Fairbanks, you've got yourself a thief.
Splendid! I'll be waiting tomorrow night in room 2 of the Harlequin Inn for you to deliver the goods. Now wait here for a minute after I leave. No one must know of our meeting.
Yeah, sometimes you end up automatically running forward out of a cutscene. That's what happens. Okay, so, I've done all this stuff, but have I found all the secrets? Well, I won't be finding all the loot. I think... Yes, hello. I think there may be a loot list out. I don't know. I should probably check it, but... That sounds like an argument. This sounds like an exciting, readable, that's super realistic. You be the judge. Which is a thing on TV that was on when I was a kid. It was like a 30-second thing between shows where it was like, you'll be the judge. And it was a picture of a gavel. And then it would present some sort of made-up hypothetical case, and you were supposed to judge whether the guy was guilty or not, and then it would give you the answer. It was really weird, and I don't really know why they did that. Encouraging citizens to become judges when they grow up or something, I suppose. I don't... Well, I did get all the secrets, so I suppose that'll have to be good enough. Also, these street signs are way up here, so you have to crane your neck. Red Leaf Square, and there's... Yeah. Red Leaf and Red Face, who are formers. I guess there's a... Oh, man. It doesn't matter. I guess there's references to everybody up in here. Yeah. Well, if I was still LPing, I would see you next time, but since I'm not, and I've retired, I won't ever see you again.